You are standing at 15,000 feet. The mountain is above you. Kathmandu is 4 hours away by helicopter. Your guide hands you a cup of tea. You drink it. 30 minutes later, your stomach turns. Your head spins. You can barely stand. Your guide looks concerned. He tells you this is altitude sickness. He tells you it could become serious. He tells you that you need to be evacuated. Now. You believe him. Why wouldn't you? He's done this 100 times. He's trying to save your life. You agree to the evacuation. Except, according to Nepal Police investigators, your rescue may never have been necessary. And the system that processed it, from the first cup of tea to the final insurance payment, was designed to extract money, not to save lives. Between 2022 and 2025, Nepal Police investigators documented 4,782 international climbers caught inside a $20 million insurance fraud operation. Not a hack, not a data breach. A physical, coordinated scheme operating openly on the slopes of the Himalayas for nearly a decade. 32 individuals have been charged, 11 of them already arrested. The investigation, first uncovered in 2018, was reopened in 2025 after a change of government brought new leadership committed to accountability. In March 2026, Nepal Police Central Investigation Bureau released the complete dossier. What it revealed was not a few isolated incidents, it was a machine. To understand how the machine works, you need to understand one number: $50,000. That is the approximate cost of a single helicopter rescue from high altitude in Nepal. Every climber who obtains a permit for Everest is required by law to show proof of insurance covering emergency helicopter evacuation. That insurance is issued by companies in the UK, Australia, the United States, Europe. Those companies pay claims based on documentation submitted from Nepal: medical reports, flight records, hospital admission forms. They cannot send an investigator to 15,000 feet to verify whether the rescue actually happened the way the paperwork says it did. That gap between what happened on the mountain and what was written on the form is where the machine lives. Here is how the operation worked, step by step. Step 1. Target selection. Before a trekker was accepted by a guiding company, their insurance documents were checked. Not their fitness, not their experience, their policy limits. According to investigators, guides specifically sought clients from countries where insurance verification was most difficult: the UK, Australia, and the United States. The higher the policy limit, the more attractive the client. Step 2. Manufacturing the emergency. Investigators documented several methods used to trigger unnecessary evacuations. In some cases, trekkers with mild altitude sickness were told they were in serious danger. Immediate evacuation recommended. In other documented cases, guides administered legitimate altitude medication with excessive amounts of water, intensifying symptoms beyond what was medically necessary. Investigators also noted reports of substances allegedly added to food to cause gastric distress, though CIB stated in April 2026 that definitive evidence of deliberate contamination had not been established in all cases. What was established is that across thousands of cases, tourists who felt unwell were consistently directed toward evacuation, regardless of whether evacuation was medically required. Step 3. The helicopter call. Once the client agreed, the guide contacted a specific helicopter operator. Not any operator, a partner. According to the official CIB dossier, Mountain Rescue Service alone carried out 171 unnecessary rescues, collecting $10.31 million. Nepal Charter Service collected $8.2 million. Everest Experience and Assistance was linked to $11.04 million in international insurance claims. Each flight was billed individually, even when multiple passengers were flown together. 4 tourists in one helicopter, 4 separate invoices submitted to 4 separate insurance companies. Step 4. The hospital. The helicopter did not return the tourists to their hotel. It flew them to a specific private hospital in Kathmandu. Era International Hospital received more than $15.87 million connected to falsified rescue operations. Shridi International Hospital received more than $1.22 million. Hospital staff created false admission records, false treatment reports, invoices for procedures that never happened. Investigators found video footage from one hospital showing a foreign tourist listed as critically ill in the official records, drinking beer at a cafe run by one of the doctors. Step 5. The insurance claim. Forged flight records, fabricated medical documents, inflated billing, all submitted to insurance companies in London, Sydney, New York. Companies that could not verify what actually happened on a trail 4 hours from the nearest road. The claim was paid. The money was split. Guide, helicopter operator, hospital, insurance agent. Everyone received their share. The tourist flew home, slightly confused about what had happened to them, but alive, and never knowing that their rescue, according to investigators, was the product, not the emergency. This is not a news story. The Kathmandu Post first exposed this operation in 2018. A government investigation followed. Reforms were announced. And then, the headlines moved on. According to investigators, the operation did not shrink after 2018. It grew. New companies entered. New hospitals joined. The reforms created paperwork. The paperwork created new opportunities for forgery. By 2022, the operation had expanded significantly. This is the pattern that appears in every investigation like this. Exposure does not end the machine. It forces the machine to adapt. So how did it finally fall? In 2024, Nepal's political landscape shifted. New leadership came to power, with accountability at the center of their agenda. The 2018 investigation files, never fully acted upon, were reopened. Nepal Police Central Investigation Bureau began systematic analysis of helicopter rescue records against insurance claim submissions. The pattern emerged immediately. Rescue frequency in certain zones, far exceeding any statistical baseline. Specific helicopter companies, accounting for a disproportionate share of total claims. Specific hospitals, billing for the same patients on the same days from multiple insurance companies simultaneously. In January 2026, the first arrests were made. On March 20th, 2026, the CIB released the complete investigation dossier. 33 individuals recommended for prosecution, charges including fraud, document forgery, and conspiracy. Trekking companies, helicopter operators, hospital executives, insurance agents. The entire supply chain, charged simultaneously. Here's what makes this case significant. No single participant in this machine did anything that looked obviously fraudulent from the outside. The guide reported an unwell tourist. That is his job. The helicopter operator flew an evacuation. That is his service. The hospital admitted a patient and filed a claim. That is standard procedure. The insurance agent processed the paperwork. That is what insurance agents do. Each individual action, completely defensible in isolation. The fraud only becomes visible when you look at the entire system at once. When you see that the same guide called the same helicopter company for the same hospital 50 times in one season. When you see that every client from a specific agency was evacuated, regardless of actual medical condition. When you see the video of the critically ill patient ordering another round at the bar. This is the structural signature of coordinated financial fraud. Not one bad actor, a system designed to appear legitimate at every individual point, while extracting money at scale. The structural indicators are the same ones financial investigators look for everywhere. A captive client pool with mandatory insurance, a verification gap between payer and incident location, a coordinated network sharing revenue across multiple entities, document forgery at the point of least scrutiny. These are not unique to Nepal. The same structure appears in healthcare billing fraud in the United States, in aid disbursement schemes documented in multiple regions, in infrastructure contract inflation around the world. The geography changes, the mountain changes, the machine does not change. 4,782 people filed claims connected to this operation. Most of them never knew. They went home and told their friends about the frightening altitude sickness that struck them on the way to Everest. They renewed their travel insurance the following year. And somewhere in Kathmandu, according to investigators, someone checked their policy limits before they ever set foot on the trail. The machine was exposed, but has it really stopped? 23 individuals remain at large. The trails are still open. The insurance requirement has not changed. Subscribe, because the most important stories are the ones hiding in plain sight.